Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. Alright, I got a couple of just little projects I gotta do today, and you're gonna go along. Let me explain what we're gonna do. First off, it's been really cold here in Waco for the last couple of days. Probably the coldest temperatures I've ever felt in the time I've been here. At its lowest, I recorded a temperature of 14 degrees, and that was a couple nights ago. And there was a wind chill factor, and the wind chill factor was bringing the temperature that made it feel like it was about -4. And so it's been really, like I said, really cold here. And as you know, I'm kind of an amateur meteorologist. I like to track the weather. I got weather apps. I got all sorts of fun things on my phones and electronic devices to allow me to, see what's going on, what the temperature is, what the humidity is. And I've had a number of these things over the years, and for some reason the remote connection to the outdoor sensor on this one isn't working very accurately. Right now it seems to actually be doing right, because 35 degrees is about the right temperature, but when it gets up to 60 or 70 degrees, it'll report that it's 50. When it was, in the hundreds last summer, it was reporting that it was in the 80s. So this thing isn't working very well, and I've also had other thermometers in the yard, and I've just had really, really bad luck with them. Let me show you what we've been up against. So this is a little transmitter that connects to that station in the house that I just showed you in the last scene, and this is a thing that's supposed to be communicating the temperature and the humidity to the base station in the kitchen. And like I said, this thing isn't working. Now, in addition to that, I've got this thing that I've had hung up here for a while now, and I can't get this thing to be accurate on a linear level, which means if it's accurate at 20 degrees, it's also accurate at 80 degrees. I just reset the thing so it's about 35 right now, but if it gets up to 60, this thing isn't going to come anywhere near close to reporting the right temperature. So this isn't really a good option right now, and it isn't working very well. I also have this thing. It was a clock I bought right when I moved into the house here, and I liked it because it had kind of an antique look to it, and it also had a thermometer and a humidity meter on it, but it isn't 110% humidity, and it's 35 degrees, not 22 degrees, so this thing isn't even accurate. So about a week ago, since I knew we had this cold streak coming in, I wanted to be able to tell at my own house what the temperature was at any time. So I went out and bought another thermometer, and I thought the most accurate one would be one of those that's just a glass tube with mercury in it. And so I went and bought one of those, and I hung that up, and let me show you that. This is that thermometer I bought here, and unfortunately when the wind came in, the wind blew it off the wall. It hit the ground and the glass part broke. So I had this for all of a week, and probably it was usable for a couple days. I noticed a couple days ago it was gone, that it had fallen and broken, and I just found the glass from the thermometer. So I still think this is the best option for an accurate thermometer out here, and so I want to go get another one of these. I think I'm just going to have to connect it to the wall better, because I didn't really use the right kind of screw, and I think the wind just kind of blew it off. But as you can see, I've had really, really bad luck with these things. Hopefully that luck is about to change. And just as another indication of how cold it got, I usually keep a bucket here. This is kind of an area under the patio cover where the rain gutters and the patio cover meet up, and water tends to drip here a little bit when it rains. And about a week ago, it rained here enough where I filled this bucket up. And what I'll usually do is keep the water, and I'll use it to water the plants, because rainwater is really good for plants. And so it's been sitting here, and it's been here the entire time through this deep freeze that we got, and this thing is actually frozen solid. And you know what happens when water freezes, it expands, and so it's expanded in the bottom, and the bottom of the bucket is bowed out. I just noticed that just now. That's why it rocks around like that. So I don't know, that bucket. Oh, and there's actually some liquid water still in the middle. You can see it sloshing around in there. How cool is that? I didn't even realize that. So it isn't frozen solid. I lied to you. Anyway, let's go get another thermometer. Now, not only am I having bad luck with thermometers for the yard, I'm also having bad luck with those seeing glasses I bought a month or two ago. You may recall initially I got the progressive lenses, and I didn't like those. I didn't like the fact that when I looked at things off axis, everything got blurry. That's just the nature of those things. So I went back, got a second pair of glasses that were just for seeing. I was going to use them mainly for driving. I sometimes wore them a little bit at work, but for the most part, you know, I don't wear glasses. I use them for reading, and if I have to see something clearly at distance, I do that. But for the most part, at work, I don't wear them. Well, about a week ago, I was walking, and as I often do, I'll just carry my glasses on my shirt like this, rather than bringing the big box with me and having that in my pocket, because, you know, I'm a guy, so I don't have a purse. I've never been into the fanny pack thing. So, you know, it's got to go in the pockets, or I do something like this. Well, I was wearing my seeing glasses on my shirt like that, and sometime during the day, the lens popped out. One of the lenses popped out, and I never did figure out where it was. I tried to retrace my steps that day. No such luck. So I got to go back and get another set of glasses. Now, hopefully, I'm only going to have to replace the one lens, because the other lens is still in good shape, and it's still in there, but you know, take three, right? Now, the only possible wrinkle to our plans today is Christmas Eve, so I'm hoping some of these places are even open. All right, I'm back, and my mission was largely a success. Now, I originally thought I was going to go to Home Depot and just get another one of those mercury-based thermometers, but decided instead I was going to go to Ace Hardware. There's Ace Hardware, and I think it's Hewitt, which is just outside of Waco. And you know, I've been to it a couple times. It's kind of a little place. It's about maybe 1/10 the size of Home Depot, so it doesn't quite have the inventory, but it has some more like artsy-fartsy kinds of things. And I thought maybe I could find, you know, a little bit more variety there. And I did, and I found something. And actually, after my little speech about going with a mercury-based thermometer, this may make you laugh a little bit, but that's the way that works. So this is the one I got, and basically what this will do is it'll attach to the outside of the window, and so I'll be able to just look right out the window and see what the temperature is. And it's a big, colorful thermometer, and hopefully this will work a little bit better. I did notice that Ace had a whole bunch of different types of varieties of thermometers, so even if I'm not happy with this, I can probably go back there and find something else. So we're going to attach that to the window, and then we'll go on from there. And there it is. That's where that thing's going to live for now on. So that's going to look, I think, pretty good there. We got to wait for the temperature to go down. It's been in the house for a little bit, and it's a little above 70 in here, so it's going to take a few minutes for the temperature to go down. But this will be a better option, I think, for me, and we'll see if this works well, and if not, we'll try something else. Let's move on to the next project. Never know what you're going to see at HEB. Strange things are afoot. In case you ever wondered what happens to the Christmas cookies at night, yeah, we're getting a preview right now. Now, as for the glasses, I was able to get that resolved too. That was a little bit more complicated. I was just hoping I could go in and they'd make one new lens for me for the one that popped out, but unfortunately you can only apparently buy these things in pairs. So I have to get a brand new set of lenses for both of the glasses, and that was about $450. But you got to remember, last time I went in to them, I'd gotten the progressive lenses, and I didn't like the progressive lenses, and they basically replaced them for free, plus the cost of what I added. I added the transition lenses to the second pair, and so they replaced them just for the cost of the transition lenses, and that was like $25. So I don't feel terribly bad about having to do that and pay a little bit more for two lenses, because let's face it, I basically got the second pair of glasses for free. So I'm going to get the replacement lenses there. They were a little surprised that that one lens popped out, so they were going to look at the frames and see what happened there. And I'm supposed to be able to get the lenses back on about January 7th. So I'm going to wait a couple weeks, and we should be able to pick those up. But I think that takes care of that project also. So the only other thing I had to do, and as you saw when I went to the grocery store. We had a little dancing bear or gingerbread man or something in there. Yeah, well, like I said, I had to go to the grocery store and picked up my Christmas Eve dinner, and I think I'm going to have a little salmon for dinner. That sounds really good. My little secret recipe, my mom loves this, is it's a 50-50 mixture of olive oil and lemon juice. I grind up some fresh rosemary in it, baste the meat in it, and then grill it, and it turns out really, really good. I also got some asparagus to go with it, and maybe some salad too. So that is the end of that, I think. So I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.